Hey Wes, we got a hot one today. Are annuities a good investment? As stocks struggle, sales of annuities reached record highs in the second quarter of 2022, actually 77.5 billion. That's the highest quarterly sales ever recorded. So we've talked a lot before about creating stable income in retirement. That's why it's so important and why these sales are increasing, especially with fixed annuities. What are they?
Well, just at its core, an annuity in general, if we were to look at the pure definition, Aaron, that would be a series of equal payments over time. And
Mhm.
there's various kinds. And as you mentioned, one like the fixed rate annuity, what that's most similar to is like a CD, but it's offered by an insurance company. Now, CDs typically offered from banks are designed for those short or medium term kind of tools. These
Mhm.
are usually a bit longer. So you could have a fixed interest rate for a period of, say, a year, 3, 5, 7, or something along those lines for that period of time. You know exactly what you're going to earn. The key is, can those keep up with inflation? Maybe or maybe not.
Okay. So I feel like a lot of people do have a love-hate relationship with annuities. So, you hit on fixed. I want to kind of go to the other end of the spectrum that people are familiar with. Variable annuities. What are those?
So variable annuities are definitely to the far right spectrum if we're looking at it in terms of risk compared to a fixed rate or fixed principal. Variable annuities come with the underlying risk that the subaccounts or basically mutual funds that the funds are invested in. So that can go up and down with the stock market. And typically, obviously, that's going to have a lot more risk than something that has fixed principal paying a stated interest rate.
hmm Okay. And then I feel like the other one that's kind of maybe right there in the middle is indexed annuities. What are those?
Sure. So the indexed annuity, again, is kind of like a hybrid of both of these that we just talked about, but the interest earned is linked to the performance of an underlying index. So for an example, it could be the S&P 500, and oftentimes it will have either, a participation rate or say a cap that you can earn based on that index. So over the course of the crediting term, maybe it's 1 year, if the S&P 500 is up, say, 5%, then you could expect to get a majority of that depending on where interest rates are at that current time.
All right. So I think one of the reasons that people wonder if this is a good investment for them, there are exchange traded funds or mutual funds that can kind of accomplish the same goal and can be a lot cheaper. So, how do you help an investor determine what's right for them?
Well, at the end of the day, it all comes back to how do any of these tools, whether it's an ETF, a mutual fund, a fixed rate annuity, a variable annuity, or an index annuity, how does it actually apply to the plan? And in
hmm
a scenario where someone is concerned about immediate liquidity, but wanted features that were kind of like some of these tools that we just talked about, then maybe there is a mutual fund or an ETF that could, have a similar kind of structure. But at the end of the day, those are not guaranteed by an insurance company, but yet they are more liquid. So as I mentioned, where annuities fit properly is within an income plan or a long-term kind of retirement plan where you have streams of income that are built out. And also, Aaron, we have to mention that, for a portion of what we may have in bonds, annuities can oftentimes play a pretty good fit to replace those traditional bonds that do carry interest rate risk. So when we purchase an annuity as an investor, we're doing it for the sole purpose of perhaps that's, if using the correct one, protecting principal, creating lifetime income. And in doing so, you're also transferring that interest rate risk to the insurance company. So you don't have to deal with that within your current bond portfolio, which everybody knows interest rates can kill a bond portfolio if they've seen anything in 2022.
Right. Or if they've been watching our videos.
Right.
We've talked a lot about that one. That was helpful. All right, Wes. Well, if somebody would like to figure out where annuities fit into their income plan, what's the best way to reach you guys?
Simply give us a buzz at 919-322-4113 or send us an email to info@patriotwealthnc.com.
All right, Wes, thank you.
Thank you.